minute ago, who often is the case when I go into work. I get to tell the patients the great news that they're getting to go home today. And some of them have been in here for 2 days, and you would think it was like, 2 years, because they just hate being under my care. And I try to be a really good doctor, I do, but you know how it often is the case. They might have to get surgical procedures, or they might have to get Maurice, or they might have to get needles poked into their back to get fluid off their lungs, as this particular patient that I'm thinking of had to have done. And they're just ready to get home, and they certainly don't like just having their sleep interrupted and getting seriously, I've counted up, there's been a study, there's 70 average of 70 interruptions in your day when you're at the hospital. So it's not a good place to be, and I get that everybody wants to go home. Trust me, I get that. I've been in the hospital twice, and I actually left against medical advice once. I was a doctor and I did that, but I had given birth to my daughter, and I just could not get her home fast enough and get away from all those people that were bothering me. So I get it, but that's not my point. My point is, try to be a complaint-free zone all of doing this and see what changes in your life. But this guy, I went into his room this day and I told him, hey, did you hear the great news? The cardiologist says that I can send you home today. And he's like, well, I was supposed to go home yesterday. Just real critchety and crotchety. And I said, but isn't it great you get to go home today? I mean, you've been here for like a week and you finally get to go home. And he couldn't see the good in that I was letting him go home today, because all he was busy doing is saying that he was pissed off that he didn't get to go home yesterday. And he said, well, I'm eating right now, just real critchety crotchety. So I said, my goodness. Okay, brain, remind yourself of this. You've learned this several times before, and here's your evidence, and here's your little reminder call. It is so much better to be positive in your life and look at the positive side of things. Even if you're complaining that you have to go into work, let's just say, for instance, or that it's raining and you have to go into the grocery store. Well, my goodness, isn't it great that you have a job so you can be gainfully employed and go and help people in the world and bring home money to yourself and your family? And okay, so you have to walk in the rain. Isn't it great that you can walk? Isn't it great that, if you're going to the grocery store in the rain, well, you have the money to go to the grocery store? And isn't it great that you live close enough to a grocery store to go to a grocery store? You don't have to go out to the farm and, pick all your vegetables or milk your cows. You can just go get them from the produce section in the dairy department. I don't know. If you could just try to not complain and look at things in a positive manner, it'll do several things. The most important of which is it will literally train your brain to look for other things that are positive going on in your life, and that will set up this whole entire cascade of events, that anything and everything that you want to dream and that you want to have up in your life, that you can dream of and that you want to have in your life, anything that you want is possible. So I just challenge you to have a complaint-free day. If it's too much for a whole day, then do it for an hour. And if you need help doing this, always go grab a spot on my calendar and I can help you, and I would love to hold you accountable for this. I'll put the link to my calendar below. Thank you guys, and you have a